emulate his 6 goals as he did in the 92 Grand Final.
Jared, another Brownlow medalist, is riding the boundary today, the Big Dipper. He's with Neil Curley, who won premierships with 3 South Australian clubs, a legend, the King. Neil, what about preparation, player-wise and coach-wise, half an hour before the big event?
Well, Bruce, all players have their own individual style. I've been in the Geelong room. They're all nice and relaxed. A few of the boys are kicking the footy around. A lot of players are sitting down, listening to soft music, walking around their own special little groups. They're all very relaxed, but I can just imagine inside they're so keyed up with emotion. The adrenaline is pumping like absolute blazes. The great Polly Farmer is down there just walking around the players. Malcolm Blight's very quiet, very calm, very relaxed. The players know what they have to do. And of course we have a guy here today who... Have you ever been down here in a grand final before?
Curls, what a stupid question. Have a look at this, mate. Look at them. Have a look at them. Oh, it's fantastic down here, Bruce. And as Neil said, I've been in the rooms, the West Coast Eagles rooms, and some of the guys are just reinforcing some of the coaches' words and just sitting back, trying to enjoy it, trying to find a bit of space so they can just sit back and enjoy this fantastic atmosphere. Because really, the first 5 to 10 minutes of this game is very crucial for the sides, and then, Curls, you're on your own.
There could be a few fur and feathers out there today.
Yeah, my word, and I just think that as far as the West Coast, they look very confident and look very, very strong.
Thanks for that, Dipper, and Neil Curley back with you a little later. We were worrying about the weather earlier. It's a typical Melbourne day. I wonder if it's going to rain. Let's go to David Brown, the weatherman from 7 Nightly News. David, will it rain today?
Well, Bruce, look, it's already raining here at the G. Just a few light drops have been falling on the ground, and it looks like we'll be stuck with this pattern all day, Bruce. Just 1 or 2 drops, but barely enough to wet the ground. We expect a top temperature of around about 19. Currently here at the G, it's 17 degrees, Bruce.
David Brown, the last time they met, only the once on June the 25th. It's a long time ago. Who would have thought these 2 teams would be playing in the grand final at that stage? West Coast won by 18 points.
Yes, and of course Peter Sumich didn't play for the West Coast, and Barry Stoneham did play for Geelong. So there is key players missing from that matchup.
How many goals does Gary Ablett have to kick? That's what everyone wants to know to win this grand final for Geelong.
Well, I think he has to emulate his best ever performance against the West Coast. 6. If he can get 6, I think the Cats can take the flag.
Well, what a day it's going to be at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. When we walked into this stadium, it was an incomparable feeling. Crowd building up, almost 100,000 people here already. Can Geelong win for the first time in 31 years? Or the West Coast do it again? Back with more after this.
Coming up, the match that will decide the season. The AFL Grand Final between the West Coast Eagles and Geelong.
Look beyond the new Holden Apollo's stylish lines and discover the best equipped and safest 4-cylinder Holden family car ever. With new comfort features, a driver's airbag, and unmatched customer care featuring 12 months free service. Look beyond the obvious and discover the new Holden Apollo. There's nothing quite like a Holden.
And here comes young Jim Jones in his first game for the Eagles. Bit of a mystery boy, Gazza.
Yeah, Baz, I've got his stats right here. A young fella, only 22, a clerical officer, the scout leader.
What's his problem?
What the... Oh, hang on.
What?
It says here he's also a smoker.
Oh, dear.
Give it away, son. Yeah, pack your bags, go back to the juniors.
Yeah, oh, dear. He needs to take a good hard look at himself, that one.
Got to be joking, a smoker. Oh, pathetic.
More West Australians choose Aquatechnics pools than any other. It was Aquatechnics who pioneered today's modern look of fiberglass pools. They introduced different colours and many other innovative features. And Aquatechnics is the only fiberglass pool company in WA to receive a quality endorsed company certificate from Standards Australia. You'll guarantee that an Aquatechnics pool is the very best you can buy. Visit Aquatechnics today, and like most West Australians, you'll choose an Aquatechnics pool.
Aye, man. Hey, you know afternoon tea is now very cool. Oasis also come in iced teas made with natural fruit juice. Only problem is, now we're drinking our tea cool. What we're going to do with our tea coolers is good idea, man.
When a Black & Decker variable speed 13mm hammer drill starts at only $100.
That's an improvement.
When a Black & Decker high-performance jigsaw now has pendulum action for even faster cutting.
That's an improvement.
And when Black & Decker random orbit sanders start from around $100.
It's home improvement days.
Black & Decker home improvement days.
Al, you make this too easy.
Now on.
Happiness is a chicken fillet burger at KFC.
I like it like that.
With bacon and cheese.
I like it with that.
And pineapple, please, it's all chicken breast.
Only the best.
Start with a chicken breast fillet, then choose from our range.
I like it like that.
With herbs and spice.
I like it like that.
The works would be nice.
Nobody has a bigger variety of chicken fillet burgers than KFC. However you like it, the Colonel's got it.
I like it like that.
It's come down to one big game. Come on, Perth, show your pride in our team. Go Eagles, go.
These sponsors are proud to be associated with the Seven Networks coverage of the 1994 AFL Premiership season.
Long since gone, these men of an age past. They've left their mark on our sporting heritage. They are the forebears of our great national pastime, when life was slow, when fashion was more graceful, and the game unhurried. This ground is hallowed. It has been the site of an Olympic Games, centre stage for the world's greatest athletes. In winters long since gone, its huge packed stands have rocked as young men sought football immortality. It has been a place where one special moment has entered the folklore of a nation, where dreams have come to life, where dreams have been shattered, where boys have become men. Today, old rivalries will be renewed. These teams that carry the hopes of cities a continent apart will again collide. One side looking to win the Premiership pennant for the first time in 31 years. The other aiming to take the treasured trophy out of Victoria for the second time in the 3 years the competition has been truly national. The Seven Network and its associated stations welcomes the world to the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the 98th Australian Football League Grand Final, featuring the West Coast Eagles and Geelong.
Hello and welcome to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. This is our World Cup final, our Super Bowl, the AFL Grand Final, the day where West Coast go up against Geelong to see who will take home the Premiership. Two teams with vastly different backgrounds. West Coast in 8 years has already built a dynasty. This is their third grand final in the last 4 seasons. They were the champions in 1992, and Geelong, who joined the VFL way back in 1897, are going for their first premiership in 31 years. That's one of our greatest ever players, Greg Williams, who turned 31 yesterday and on Monday night won the Brownlow medal for the second time. He scored 30 votes in 9 matches this year. He only played in 20. He was the best player on the ground. The flag is flying for Geelong today. Thousands and many thousands have made the trip up the Geelong Highway. It has been a long, long time since they've won a premiership. Their greatest player, their most famous player, turns 33 today. Gary Ablett. They refer to him as God. He could kick 10 goals today, and if he does, the Cats could win. As I said, for the first time since 1963. They are sentimental favourites, much like Collingwood were in 1990. But boy, don't they come up against a strong team in West Coast. A bad omen maybe for the Eagles. Their man missed the ground today flying their flag. He's off in the parkland somewhere. That will not worry Mickey Malthouse at all. And that was the West Coast flag a moment ago. All tangled up, but I can tell you this club is very well organised. They're the pragmatists. Geelong are the romantics. And the Australian flag as well. Because it's one of those days. We expect 8 million people around Australia to be watching. And around the world, an audience of many millions. The good folks at Daisy Buchanan's Bar in Boston, Massachusetts, through Prime Sports. Scotty Moore's tuned into the Sports Network in Toronto, Canada. He's watching this with his wife, Becky. And in Jakarta, Indonesia, Tim and Helen Claby have got their Geelong beanies on. Right around the world, they're watching this. And as I said, it's two teams with vastly different backgrounds. It's the most magnificent feeling when you come into this stadium. This stadium was the site of the 1956 Olympics, the famous centenary test in cricket. But it's always on this moment they think about finals and grand finals. Let's go down to the ground at ground level for the spectacular pre-match entertainment.
Would you now please give a grand final welcome to an Australian musical legend, Judith Durham, the Seekers, who are making their final Australian appearance, and what better place to do it than on Grand Final Day at the MCG. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Potka, Bruce Woodley, Athol Guy, Judith Durham, the Seekers, singing I Am Australian.
From the dusty red soil plains, I am the ancient heart, the keeper of the flame. I stood upon the rocky shore, I watched the tall ships come. For 40,000 years I've been the first Australian. We are Australia.
Waltzing Matilda was first performed in the outback Queensland town of Winton, where the centenary of Australia's most famous song will be celebrated next April. Keith, Bruce, Athol and Judith would now like to present their version of this famous Australian classic.
Jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee, and he sang as he shoved that drum buck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You come a waltzing Matilda with me, and he sang as he shoved that drum buck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Down came the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Where's that jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You come a waltzing Matilda
Sunday on Channel 7, a world premiere movie. Police rescues Gary Sweet is Cody, a new breed of cop with his own set of rules.
See the rest of it?
Cool, calculating, dangerous.
Don't add to my troubles.
Don't threaten me, pal.
A young girl is missing.
Somebody's got it, don't you understand?
The key to a mystery
I sent the ransom note.
that will grip you and take you to the very edge.
If we pull this off, we got him.
For the first time on television, Ansett presents Cody, 8:30 Sunday on 7.
Super XHP, you say? The what? The latest SH formula. Who? Yeah, no, mobile. Yeah, mobile. M-O-B-I-L, right? Extra protection. You're talking my language now. Okay, thanks, mate. He asked me why I'm not using mobile Super XHP.
You big dummy.
Mobile Super XHP saves you worry in the long run.
If it weren't made from whole cuts of the finest fillets, we couldn't call it fillet of fish. At McDonald's.
Sure, you've got the autographed Eagles photos. You've got the official scarf. And the beanie. And the jumper. You've probably even got a first issue Eagles cushion. But no one can call themselves a true Eagles fan unless they get their own copy of the limited edition, once only Grand Final souvenir edition of tomorrow's Sunday Times. Don't miss it.
You've got enough equity in your home for us to help you get rid of those high-interest loans. And by refinancing your borrowings at much lower rates, you can save on your current monthly repayments or maintain them and cut years off your loan and save thousands in interest.
If you've got a home loan, call us and see how much we might be able to save you on any high-interest loans.
And if you apply for that loan with Town & Country now, you pay no application, valuation or establishment fee. No upfront bank fee at all.
You'd be surprised how uncovered some people really are.
Viewers, prepare yourself for a shock.
Did you know Medicare doesn't cover you for general dental treatment? Or chiro or physio? Glasses?
HBF Essentials covers the things Medicare doesn't from just $3.50 a week.
I'll get it. And should he need an ambulance, he's covered.
Are you with HBF?
Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. About 15 minutes now remaining.
Second, mate.
See what's going on here. 15 minutes remaining until the final. I hope everything's all right. I think some home improvement is going on back here with the AFL side.
All right.
Now, Al, is that going to be all right for the rest of the match?
Yes, it is. Now, is there anything else you need? Use your chair okay?
Al, I think it's going to be okay.
All right. Should be a great day for a game. Came all the way from America to see it.
Al, we know that is going to be a ripper.
Well, if there's anything else you need, you just give me a call.
Look, I know you're good, but I want to keep this just in case. All the best.
All the best.
Well, all the best, too, to the umpires who are out there today, and particularly, I guess, for David Howlett, because David Howlett turns 31 tomorrow. He was the AFL Umpire of the Year, and it's his first grand final. He runs with Brian Sheehan and Dennis Rich. For Brian, it's his fourth, and for Dennis Rich, it's his third. I say he turns 31. He turns 34. I'm doing him a great favour. What a wonderful sight it is. This stadium is full today. It's as close to 100,000 people as we could possibly get. And Gerard Healy, the 1988 Brownlow medalist, is with me at the moment as we see West Coast getting set, being revved up by Robert Wiley. Mickey Malthouse has already done his job. Look at the bonding there between the players as they're about to go out. Geelong will follow them out on the ground, so West Coast will be the first ones out. Interestingly, Jason Dunsall, the mighty full forward for Hawthorn, who won 4 premierships, told me in an interview during the week he hated being first out in the grand final because you heard the roar, Gerard, for the other team when they came out. There's been some light rain in the last 15 minutes. Will it make a difference?
Well, I think it will. I think it'll favour the West Coast. And I did notice that the Geelong players on screen were changing their boots from moulded soles to screw-ins. We wouldn't want to see any slipping out here. The game will be red hot. There won't be any room for U-turns.
There's a feeling about freshness with the West Coast Eagles too. They had a bye at the right time of the year in round 23. Geelong have had 3 very tough finals. West Coast have played both their finals in Perth. They've played one less final. Do you think after half-time that will be a factor?
Well, I don't really believe so. The fact that the West Coast have only played 3 games in 5 weeks may even work against them. And if you look at the Geelong side, well, they're great on-ball champions in Bairstow and Couch, Mansfield and Gary Hocking all missed their second semi-final, so they're fresh and the game will be won in the middle, so I think it's an even go.
We've talked about Malcolm Blight pulling surprises for Geelong. What about Mickey Malthouse? And he's got such flexibility, hasn't he? With so many players around about 6 feet in the old language who can do practically anything on a football field. Do you think he has the flexibility? Do you think he'll pull a surprise early?
Wouldn't be surprised to see Mitchell White come into the game. That allows them to move Ashley McIntosh to the forward line. If the West Coast have a problem, it is that they can't kick big scores. They haven't done so on many occasions this year. In fact, they've only kicked 15 goals or more on 8 occasions in comparison to Geelong have done it 16 times. So goal kicking will be one of their factors, and I believe that McIntosh will perhaps start up forward.
They have built their attack around defence, but if we look at Geelong's attack with Gary Ablett, most people think Michael Brennan will get the job. Do you think it'll be Brennan?
A little bit undecided. Ablett hasn't led much of late, and if he's going to wrestle from the goal square, I think John Worsfold is the man for him. Monkey Brennan can then go on to David Mensch or even Bill Brownless, but we'll find out in 10 minutes.
And what about the fact that they haven't played at the Melbourne Cricket Ground since June and haven't played in Melbourne for a number of weeks?
I don't think it's relevant, but what they have done is won a premiership here before.
Well, it's been a long time for Geelong, hasn't it? 1963, their last premiership. There's Gary Ablett going through with Billy Brownless behind him. They've won 3 finals this year in remarkable circumstances, 2 of them after the siren, and one of them they had 4 of their very best players missing when they beat Carlton at Waverley Park. It's a different scenario to 1992. On that occasion, they played Footscray twice and West Coast twice. This is fresh competition for them.
Yes, and both sides have changed their sides around considerably since the last time they met in round 14. You can't get away from the fact that Ablett is a big key. He's kicked 6 and 6 in the first 2 finals, 3 last week, including the match-winning one. Brownless kicked the match-winning goal in the first one, and perhaps he has got the chance to exercise the demons that have been haunting him since the 1992 Grand Final, when Ashley McIntosh really did give him one hell of a hiding.
Well, I wonder if there are any changes to the 2 teams. And the Big Dipper and Neil King Curley are on the boundary line. Dipper, West Coast, are they lined up as selected? Is Mitchell White out there, or is he an emergency?
No, Bruce, he is an emergency. There's no changes in the West Coast Eagles. I can tell you the bench as well. The bench for the West Coast is Bond, Turnbull and Waterman.
Yes, and for Geelong, the bench is Brown, Willis and Colbert. Matchups will be Riccardi on Matera, McGrath on Heady, and you'll find the bench will start in the forward pocket.
I think one of the good matchups today was where is Ashley McIntosh going to play? I think he's a trump card for the West Coast. He can play in both defence and forward.
Well, he's a key player for the West Coast Eagles because, as you said, he can play in virtually any position, and that does give Malthouse a trump card.
Dipper, thanks for that, and thank you to Neil. We'll be back with you at the bounce of the ball. Geelong are out there. Gary Ablett, 33 today, kicked 9 goals in 1989. Barry Stoneham, bad luck for him, missing out. He played in the 1989 and 92 Grand Finals. We'll take a break. Back with the national anthem after this.
That's a $3 special.
Saturday, buy 1 chicken and get another for only $3.
Awesome value.
Cover my world and everything that surrounds me. Cover my world.
Take out an RAC Motorguard policy and we agree with you the value your car is insured for. If you have an accident later and the car's a write-off, we pay you the full insured amount, not a lower market value. Agreed value cover. That's how RAC Motorguard covers your world.
Cover my world. Cover my world. Cover my world.
This is Oasis. The refreshing fruit drinks, nice tea is made with natural fruit juice. They say one drink and you escape to a tropical oasis. Aye, man. It works.
I love being free, and so I keep leaving the sun and the sea, but my heart lies waiting there over the phone. I still call Australia home. All the sons and daughters spinning round the world, away from the family and friends. As the world gets older and colder, it's good to know where your journey ends.
Once again, welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the 1994 Grand Final. And a warm welcome to Dennis Committee today, my co-commentator.
Hello, Bruce. Looking forward to this. A terrific day so far and the prospect of something special, I think.
Jared Healy's talking about special. Peter Matera was in 1992.
Absolutely, the match winner in that Grand Final. And today he comes in with a bit of an injury cloud. Has struggled in his finals campaign a little bit. Kicked a couple of match-winning goals versus Collingwood. He is Mr. Excitement, and he'll probably get Peter Riccardi as a tag early, who can go with him for pace.
His birthday today, Gary Ablett, right there in the huddle. What an outstanding season he's had. The Coleman medal, a string of goals, 14 against Sydney, including 6 in one quarter.
Well, if we take a lesson from the sides that have beaten the West Coast this year, you have to either guard this player or put somebody on him, a superstar, which turns him into a true defender. He is a fantastic player, has been called the quarterback, and will go a long way to deciding the outcome of the game.
John Barnes, marvellous season, marvellous final round, some spectacular high marks, and one of the keys this afternoon, he could dominate the ruck. The Eagles will need to curb him.
And a lot has been talked about Glenn Jakovich, a superstar at only 21. A lot of the tactics when Collingwood almost upset them at the whacker was to move him away from his defensive position. Bill Brownless will probably start on him. They may put a dummy centre-half forward in early.
So the players are now lining up. It is a full house here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Light rain is falling. We've looked at some of the key players. Dennis, people are saying for Geelong to win, they must get an explosive start.
Well, they did back in 92 and still lost the game. I think when you look back to history, 92, we saw only 4 goal scorers for the West Coast Eagles. I think that's a worry for them.
Malcolm Blight relaxed with Gary Ayres. They've been here before. Time now for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the national anthem to be performed by Judith Durham the Seekers, accompanied by the Australian Army Band Melbourne, the Australian Army Band Sydney, and the Victorian State Children's Choir.
does stand on the back of the neck at this time every year before the grand final. The toss of the coin in a moment for one lucky man, Bruce Duke. He won the Rotary Award that was running throughout the season and has the opportunity to toss the coin here today. John Worsfold, the captain from 1992, and Mark Bairstow. And here's the dipper with the captains.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. The crowd has just finished singing happy birthday to Gary Ablett, and they gave him 3 cheers, and we're waiting for John Worsfold to turn up. I've got to tell you, Bruce, I've been out here a few times, you know, but there's no moment like this. And Bruce, by the way, is a North Melbourne supporter. I think he's a week too late, but he's actually going for the West Coast Eagles. John Worsfold comes in, the 2 great captains here. Working out who's going to call it. John's got to call AFL, and it's landed on the Rotary. Mark Bairstow has won the toss and he's kicking the right of screen, Bruce.
To the main scoreboard end, Geelong will go right of screen, west coast of the punt road end. Now the huddles, the bonding for the last moments before they take their place, and the all-important matchups. It'll be frantic in the first couple of minutes. This is a full house today.
Yes, you wouldn't be surprised to see a number of 4s running away with one unballer trying to tag another and break his own tag.
McIntosh will be a key, just whether he starts at the back or up forward.
Well, I think if he starts in the back, he'll pick up Brownless. He's had the wood on him over the years. If he goes forward, well, Colbert started on him in round 14. I'd be surprised if that was a different setup today.
I think Bruce Brownless, a very important player for the Cats. He could be a barometer of this game. If he fires, then Geelong are a real chance, I think.
Do you think they'll use the ploy and try and run Djakovic away from centre-half back?
Initially, I think they will, with Brownless, if in fact that's the matchup. There's Michael Malthouse, a Premiership player with Richmond. He's 1-1 for the West Coast Eagles. And of course, the grand final loss was at Waverley.
And Banfield coming onto the bench for the West Coast. He did a terrific job last week versus Melbourne, putting Stephen Tingay out of the game in the second quarter after Tingay had dominated the first quarter on Peter Matera.
McIntosh going to defence by the look of it. Brownless going right down to the goal square with Lee Tudor. And where is Gary Ablett? He's on the centre wing.
By himself, he'll come bursting off the centre square, perhaps try to collect one of the West Coast players on the way through, but there's no doubt that he'll finish at full forward.
Brennan's picking him up now. Michael Brennan goes to Ablett.
Almost predictable, that.
Peter Matera on Peter Riccardi. What a battle that'll be.
Bounce of the ball for the 94 grand final. Hines got a good look at it, tapped it out. Pike almost the first effective touch, brought to ground quickly. A free kick.
Surprised Hines just didn't go bang with the big fist, getting it 10 yards their way. In fact, he hit it defensively, which goes against a lot of coaches' direction.
Gary Hocking, the first kick of the grand final. Brownless caught underneath it. Brennan at the back, hit Mott's handball. Ablett and Hart. Tudor in the pocket, centering kick. Djakovic's got a very good bounce. Bangs it away just outside 50. Bond was at the front. Mansfield's ball at the back was a beauty. Hocking's handball laterally. Got to Mansfield. Couch onto it. Hip and shoulder onto Pike. Brewer, who's been a star in these final series. Mainwaring at him quickly. Bond at him quickly. Now a high tackle. Free kick though going to West Coast.
In the West Coast forward line, Stephen Hocking's got Chris Lewis. McGrath is on Brett Heady, dangerous player who kicked 6 goals last week.
Pike to the wing, ball's in front, it fell behind, taken quickly by Kemp, down towards half forward, loose ball, who's got the speed, Mainwaring, inside the 50, loose ball to the pocket, battling down there O'Reilly with Sumich, O'Reilly gets it across the boundary line.
There's great work from O'Reilly there, he was 1 against 2, McGrath attacked the football and left Brett Heady by himself. And it was a free goal coming up if O'Reilly didn't perform. A great piece of defensive work.
Handley in front, ball from behind. Ball goes again, down went Lewis. Kemp, hard against the boundary line, pulls it back. They'll contest in the square. Sumich, O'Reilly, Riccardi crashes in. Intent on destruction, concedes a behind.
One surprise, Pickering and Worsfold are going together at half forward. Pickering playing at half forward for Geelong.
David Mensch on Djakovic, centre half forward for Geelong. Pickering been a very important player for Geelong in this finals campaign.
Hinkley short. gets to Mansfield, who had a punctured lung in the first of the finals against Footscray, has made a remarkable recovery in the AFL team this year. Out towards centre wing, big fly from Hines. Brewer has played in a lot of premierships in his short career, this one at the AFL level. Well, grand final anyway. Hocking was there. Now Bond looking for Kemp. Hanley, McKenna looking for a free kick. Mansfield ripped away from it. Play going on. Kemp's been important early. Ball around the body. At centre half forward, Sumich had a good look at it. Couldn't quite hold it. Well played by Hinkley. If McKenna's the quarterback for West Coast, then Hinkley's the quarterback for Geelong. This is the danger man. Should go short. Does. Gets to Lewis. Lewis could kick this. Oh, it takes forever. Holding the footy surely. Bairstow. Well, they got out of that West Coast. They're a bit fortunate. Lewis almost mesmerised there. 45 metres from home. Wilson picking himself up. West Coast attacking in the left forward pocket. Over the back was Wilson. Kemp's there. Wilson throws himself on top, and no free kick.
Gary Ablett still playing up across the half-forward line. Looks to be playing as a centre half-forward this early part of the game.
Eagles by a point. Handley and Ball. Ball, clean possession. Hurried kick towards full forward. O'Reilly and Sumich again. Back towards the boundary line. Sumich to ground. Ball out of bounds, so a throw-in.
Another important matchup on the other wing. Brewer on Main Waring. Main Waring, the classic linkman for the Eagles. Equally as effective as Matera, perhaps not as flamboyant.
Handley in front. Ball from behind. Taken brilliantly by Evans, who shoots. Goal. First goal in the grand final. A man who starred in their last victory. Tony Evans on the burst through the pack, threw it on the left boot. Gun barrel straight.
Very underrated player. 3 goals in the 92 grand final, 4 goals in round 14 when his season was at a crisis point. He was given the option by Mick Malthouse to fire up or you'll be chopped.
Good start for West Coast. They lead by 7 points. Evans getting the first goal in this grand final. He has a habit of kicking goals against Geelong. Free kick for Hocking. Wasn't he tripped?
Unbelievable.
Well, free kick now to West Coast.
Yes, so definitely there was a foot came out which tripped Hocking.
Well, ironically, if the video looks at that, we may see a player suspended, but no free kick. Jakovic goes to centre wing. Oh, Barnes flew early. Made a meal of it. Balls kick. Geelong taking a while to settle. Sumich tries a half volley. O'Reilly with him. Sumich tries to paddle it out. Mansfield gets in there and holds it up.
Barnes had a slow start against North Melbourne last week and fired up in the second half. Just misjudged that one. He'd be a little bit nervous.
Inside 50 again, West Coast. Remembering a lot of judges thought Geelong had to get a fly here to win. Bairstow got a bad bounce. Sumich, left foot, round the body. Hooks it back and scores it behind.
The medicos have been out to Gary Hocking just to make sure he's all right. He is limping. Would have been a nasty whack across the shin bone. Chris Waterman, Ryan Turnbull on the bench for the Eagles.
Jason Ball has started well for the West Coast Eagles. Doing very well on the forward line. There's Hocking and Worsfold. Hinkley into Mines, very short. Stephen Hocking back to Hinkley. Confronted. Gets by Lewis, kicks towards midfield. Brewer gathers the half volley, nicely done. McGrath on the burst. Through the centre, probing kick inside the 50. Too much carry for Brownless. Loose ball behind. McIntosh the speed. Lays it off to McKenna, swings it to the outer side. Hines, right half back. Brennan wants it down the ground. Hines slips as a result. He was trying to move it too quickly. Now he's made the mistake. Hickmott a chance. Over the shoulder intended for Couch. Couch at left half forward. Concedes some meterage. Goes back to Bairstow. Now Couch surrounded. Like cannons into him. Hickmott taken high surely. And he'll get the free kick midway between half forward and wing. Hickmott lively forward. Kicks inside the 50. Brownless favoured by the kick. The closing speed of McIntosh was important there. They battled hard on the ground. Couch digs it out somehow to Tudor, who goes in short. Too much carry for Mensch. Worsfold collided with Mensch. Comes to Hocking. Hocking still going. Got free of Jakovic's tackle. Kicks and misses. Behind.
saw Hickmott on screen. He's got a very important job. Guy McKenna is his opponent. As a forward, he has to play him as a defender.
Hard to bring her back in. He's resurrected his career, was injured and missed out in 1992. A thumping kick, looks for Hines, good grab. He started well. Here's the other man who missed out on the grand final win. Kemp at half-back. Goes towards half-forward. Mansfield at the back. Ball with him. Still Mansfield. Has to concede some ground. Played it very well. Runs a long way. Hocking coming off for Geelong. Gary Hocking off the ground as Mansfield goes through centre wing with a long bomb. Brownless goes too early. McIntosh ups it away. Ball on the ground. Handball by Jakovic was very good. Hard to Worsfold. Worsfold concedes ground as well. In trouble. Deliberately goes out of play. Should be pinged, but
Curry jumper.
Well, it was obvious what he was doing.
Absolutely, that was definitely a free kick. I was about to say the umpires have let it go and doing quite well, as you see Gary Hocking on the interchange bench. What a tragic blow that'd be if he couldn't come back on.
Yes, potential body blow, that one. Ablett. Well, McKenna met him solidly. McKenna will get the free. Ablett applying a tackle as they went to ground. Ablett started on the wing. Guy McKenna in the back pocket. High kick towards the wing. McGrath and Heady, and a free kick to the defender. They'll take it right on the way. Had his problems last week. Geelong's best in that losing grand final against the West Coast Eagles. Kicks inside the 50. Where's Ablett? Big pack. Brownless's leap. Very impressive. It falls behind. Bairstow snaps. He got it from Tudor across the goal face. Who's got the speed? Menches in front. Back to goal. 25 metres out. Taken by Wills. Confronted by Jakovic. A snap of the Uni. It comes back. I think he's missed. He has. Gee, it was a good effort. Marvellous effort from there.
Had Brownless short. Neil Curley, what's the situation with Gary Hocking?
Yes, it could be bad luck for Geelong. They've had the spray out to him. It's the right thigh, upper thigh. He's got a corky, and it doesn't look good at this stage.
Majera at half-back. Goes short, looks for Ball. Hanley with him. Good attempt by Ball. He's been a fine player this year. Tudor, well, Riccardi's going to get a free kick.
A bit unfortunate there, Ball. He did win the ball well, but slipped over. A little bit bruisey at the moment, the surface.
Riccardi in short. Wills provided the first lead. Hart chopped it off. As I said earlier, what a season he's had. Centering kick to McKenna. This is where he plays this so well. This is how he sets it up. McIntosh running off Brownless. West Coast have got it up to the centre square without any pressure. Bangs it out wide. Good take by Heady. Heady at 50 metres. Centering kick for Lewis. He's got him. That's wonderful football.
Brilliant play by the Eagles. Most people said that Geelong had to play a very spread forward line to keep the defenders away from each other. That's what the Eagles are doing. They're spreading up. They're spreading out very wide from the wings forward, and with their precise delivery, have pinpointed the passes, bringing this down to Lewis, who should convert.
Kicked a couple of goals against Collingwood in the close one. He's had a very good second half of the year. Kicks from 30 metres out. He's got a goal.
In the past, some people had to go to extraordinary lengths to get something extra out of a bank.
Over here, Mr. Kelly.
With Privilege Plus, Challenge Bank is happy to give you around $1,000 in extras.
$1,000? And no transaction fees.
Free legal advice.
Privilege Plus. It's why Challenge Bank customers are around $1,000 a year better off. Bye-bye.
I can hang up this stupid helmet.
Oh, Mr. Kelly?
Yes, miss.
Not all banks are the same.
To be sure.
West Coast by 12 points. Thump down and there by Barnes. Down towards half-forward Jakovic. Great dash. Inspirational stuff inside the 50. Sumit sets in from the side. Heady. Ricochets off Bond. Taken by McGrath. Boots it out wide. Hines in best position. Bond is on for the hand pass. Bond has got it 35 metres out. Sharp angle. Settles. Kicks. He's got it. Geelong are reeling. The West Coast lead by 18.
Yes, and perhaps Shane Bond is the luckiest player on the ground to be in the West Coast side. He's been carried a little bit this year, a first-year player. Hasn't kicked a lot of goals, but this is Dead-Eye Dick sort of stuff.
It's a freak. Geelong got a free kick in the centre square for an infringement taken by Hanley to centre half forward. Hart run with Hickmott to the boundary line, still in play. Matera on Hickmott, bit unlucky not to get a free kick. Hickmott now Riccardi, well played. Tudor who's been good early. Hickmott still with Hickmott at 40 metres. Oh, Couch gone. It was a poor handball. Kemp was always lurking, and it's going to be a bounce down. Geelong need a goal here very, very quickly. It's a flying start for West Coast. They lead 3-2 to 2 points, and Gary Hocking off the ground. Gary Ablett now in the goal square. But Jakovic and McKenna and Hart have ruled supreme so far. Across half-back in the back pocket. Barnes lays it. Stoke caught. Took a long time to get rid of it. Hart caught. Good tackle on him too by Pickering. Kemp's little handball didn't go very far. Pike trapped it well. Couch should kick a goal. Goes for Couch. He's got it. What a player Couch he's been over the years for the Cats. They got the one they had to get against the flow. It's 3-2 to 1-2.
And Couch starting in the centre on Kemp, who's already had 5 possessions. Couch has had it 3 times already, but importantly for Geelong, he's kicked their opening goal. He was sensational in the first quarter in 1992, was taken out of the game after half-time by Brett Hetty. But he is one that the Cats will need to be in the best 3 or 4 on the ground if they're to win.
Malthouse would be happy with this start. Couch started on the bench back in round 14. Needs to fire now in the absence of Hocking. Evans boots it down towards half forward. Ball, who's been terrific, continues to work hard. Wilson, in characteristic fashion, tracking it towards half forward. Still he goes. Peter Wilson dragged down, lost it. Mansfield, nicely done. Good evasion. Michael Mansfield kicks towards half forward. Ill-directed though. Hart goes back. Could have done a little better. McIntosh hooks it down looking for Hart. Well played. Got it to Worsfold. Now Brennan peels off. Mainwaring is short. Mainwaring's got it. Worsfold runs on. Lost it. Sock is off the ground. Down towards the wing. 2-on-1. Worsfold striding out. Couch set a trap for him but gave away a free kick. Well, Couch would have done better, I think, attacking the ball there. Worsfold's got it. He beat 2 of them to Pike. Pike at half forward. Kicks towards full forward. Sumich back. Lewis from behind. They spoiled each other. Sumich on the ground surrounded. 3 against 1. Hocking knocks it out. Opportunity for Wilson. He's 60 metres from goal. He throws it on the boot. It's a wayward kick. Barnes gets back. Takes the mark. Across the goal face he goes. McGrath will bring it out.
Had Carey last week. He's been a good finals player though, McGrath. Geelong having problems at half forward.
Yeah, Bill Brownless has come out to centre half forward. Minch gone into the forward pocket. And importantly, McIntosh has gone on to Minch.
O'Reilly, who's been outstanding all year, looks for Barnes. Good grab. A terrific grab. Riccardi was running past. No handball coming. Brownless goes short, but he goes into the centre. Handball by Stephen Hocking. Riccardi stops props on his wrong side. Gets reasonable distance. Almost up to full forward. Ablett's going to have to get into the game. Brennan away from him. They're rebounding off Ablett and Brownless too easily at the moment. Hines to Jakovic. This is Billy's man. Jakovic runs to the boundary line, brings it towards 50. Barnes sits, waits. That takes courage. You know somebody's coming, and he had to sit and stick up the mitts, and he takes the mark. A cult figure at Geelong.
He's got nobody to kick it to because Bill Brownless is trying to run Jakovic up the ground, so they haven't got a true centre half forward.
Hintley towards half forward. Hines is there.
And therein lies the problem.
Hines from half back. His side in front by 12 points. Towards half forward. Ball is the target. Up he goes. It falls free behind. Mansfield back. Nobody near him. Plenty of time. Mansfield again goes for distance. High to half forward. Jakovic with this set. Fisting away. Wide of the pack. Mainwaring. Now where's Hetty? Hetty battling McGrath down the ground. Mainwaring waiting for him to make a break. Instead he goes to Hart. Hart on the wing. Pulls it back. Hetty will contest from behind. Got the ball on the ground. Well done. Mansfield even better. Across to McGrath. Threw it on the boot. Mainwaring drops the mark. Now he's in trouble. Brewer got him. Jarred loose. Down went Pike. Couch applied the tackle. Some hesitation. Bond eventually went at the ball. Brewer got him. Free kick. It'll come back to Brewer.
Been a change in midfield now. Don Pike is tagging Couch, and Kemp's gone on to Bairstow.
Gee, that was a hot decision on Bond. Wills at centre wing. Mansfield has been outstanding, hasn't he, for Geelong across half-back. We've been singing the praises of the West Coast defence. Wills with a long bomb. Brownless in the front spot. Djakovic to feed off him. Ablett's first touch. Takes Djakovic on. Handball brilliant. Billy needs a good bounce. Matera looks for a free kick. Minch's hands are quick. Riccardi's a goal. It bounces. It's a goal.
Creation, the mother of all invention. Taking one simple idea, protecting and nurturing it for the next generation. We give you the all-new Mitsubishi Star Wagon, or as we like to call it, the mothership. Please consider.
Inside the centre square, Mainwaring was taken high twice. He'll get the free kick. He started well. Squares it to Djakovic. It goes short towards half forward and Kemp, who was lively in the opening minutes. 80 metres from goal, Dean Kemp. Unloads for a long one towards the kick-off line. Up in front, Mansfield again. He's terrific. 7th possession. Swings it out wide. The mark is held up here by Pickering. Pickpott's on down the ground. Well-weighted kick. Pickpott in space. Forward at the wing. Wills wants it. That's the target. Wills settles in front. From behind, Worsfold. Great grab in front.
Great work from Wills, who ran 150 metres to get that one.
Wills takes him on. Gets by Worsfold. Kicks from 35. Oh, great goal! Andrew Wills beat Worsfold, who was standing the mark.
And a fantastic piece of work there from Wills.